Hey guys, in today's video, I'm going to show you how I made garlic butter lobster tail skewers. Now this recipe came from the Complete Barbecue Cookbook by Sterling Smith. No way sponsored by the publisher or anything like that. I got the book for Christmas. I tried this out because every New Year's Eve, my wife and I always have lobster tail. It's just a tradition we started after we were married, where we have lobster tail over New Year's Eve to kind of just celebrate getting through the year, and we just treat ourselves to a nice meal. So I'm going to show you how I do that right now. I'm going to start with the aioli sauce first. Take this head of garlic and just chop the top of it off, exposing the cloves. Now what this is going to do is going to allow it to roast more quickly and more evenly once we get it on the smoker. After wrapping it in some foil, we're going to take 1 tablespoon of olive oil and just coat it real well, and then add a little bit of salt and pepper, and then it'll be ready for the smoker. Go ahead and we'll start our smoker now. I'm going to use some apple wood chunks for this cook. Now apple is going to be really good for our lobster tails once we get those on there. And you'll notice what I do is I start by placing some apple wood chunks in the ash pan. Now the idea for this is the embers will fall into the ash pan and start to smoke that apple wood, just providing more flavor to that lobster once we put it on there. Now you'll see I alternate between wood chunks and charcoal. Wood chunks and charcoal, this just gives it a more even, clean burn. Make sure to take those dampers out. We'll set the temperature on this to 300 degrees. Grab a couple fire starters here, and then we'll get it started. After the master billet reaches 300 degrees, we can go ahead and place our garlic on the smoker. We can go ahead and complete the rest of our aioli sauce. We're going to start with 1 cup of mayonnaise. We'll add 2 tablespoons of olive oil. And after that, we'll add 1 tablespoon of Dijon mustard. And then we'll take our lemon, break up those fibers. And then we'll squeeze half of the lemon juice into the aioli sauce. And we make sure we mix it real well. After about 30 minutes, the garlic should be done. To check, we'll just take a temperature probe, place it right through there. If it goes in nice and smooth, then you know it's done. We'll start to dice that garlic up real well. And once that garlic is diced, I'm gonna take the side of my knife and just press down on the garlic, creating a paste. Now I'm sure there's a better technique to do this, but this is the way I found it easiest. So I ended up with more garlic than I intended. I'm just gonna use 3/4 of it. After we've mixed it, place it in the fridge. These are spiny lobster tails from the Gulf of Mexico, and what I'm gonna do is just take my kitchen shears, just cut right down the middle of those lobster tails, exposing that meat. Now once I've exposed that meat, I'm just gonna pry those lobster tails apart and take the meat right out of it. It should come right out. Just going to take my skewers and put it right through the middle of the lobster tail. You can use wooden skewers, just make sure you soak them in your water for about a half hour before you use them. For some reason my camera didn't pick up on this, but I did squeeze the rest of the lemon juice on both sides of the lobster tails, and then I'm just going to add rub on each side of it. Now it's time to start the butter that we're going to baste our lobster tails with. We're going to start with 2 sticks of melted butter. Now make sure you're using an aluminum pan that you can place into your smoker. After the butter, I'm going to add 5 to 6 sprigs of thyme right into the butter. After adding the thyme, I'm going to add 5 to 6 minced garlic cloves. I'm going to squeeze half of a lemon into the pan. And now we're ready to start our cook. My smoker is now set for 335 degrees and we're ready to start our lobster tails. We'll start by placing the aluminum pan right there on the smoker, and then just take the skewers and just place them right on there as well. Once they're on, I'm going to baste and turn them every 2 minutes until they're done. Now these can cook really quick, so it's important to stay near your smoker. Now I try my best to give you guys an actual cook time, but for these I'm going to go by temp, and we want an internal temp of 135. So each time you flip them, you want to make sure you baste them with the butter. Once they've reached 135, go ahead and take them off. Now onto my pasta sauce. For ingredients, I have 2 tablespoons of butter, 2 minced garlic cloves, 1 cup of heavy cream, and 1 cup of grated Parmesan cheese. We'll add the butter and garlic to a saucepan and allow it to melt. As it's melting, we'll go ahead and we'll add our pasta. We add our cup of heavy cream and stir, and then add our cheese as well. Continuing to stir, we should see it start to thicken. If you don't like it that thick, you can add some pasta water to it. Now once the pasta is cooked, I'm going to go ahead and just cut it in half lengthwise. After cutting the pasta, I'm going to add it to the sauce and just stir it in real well. Now that everything is cooked, we can plate it and serve it. Don't forget the aioli sauce. Alright guys, I finished up my lobster tail here. It's all cooked up. I'm going to try it without the sauce first, and then we'll see how it goes. It's really, really good. Really, really good. Man, that's pretty good. Okay, I'm going to try it with the sauce here real quick, see how that goes. See if it adds anything. It definitely does. It's good without it, but it's really good with it. So I really recommend this. Give it a shot. I'm going to try the pasta. It's pasta, a little bit of sauce I made here, so we'll try it, but really, really good. Give it a shot, guys. All right, there you go, guys. Internal temp of 135. Make sure you're flipping them every 2 minutes. Make sure you're staying close to your smoker because these will cook quick. Now remember, this came out of the Complete Barbecue Cookbook. I'll leave a link in the description below. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I really appreciate it, guys.